How are you, John?
I'm good. And you?
I'm all right, thank you.
Good.
What I want to start with is, before we talk about the record, in 2012 you released Unplugged.
Yes.
Was that an important record for you?
Yeah, I think, it was weird. A lot of people ask me why I started out with an acoustic album. But, I think it was something, it's not the first record I've done. It's probably the 6th or 7th record I've done with different bands and stuff. And I think for me as a solo artist, I thought it would be something different, but it would also set me up for the future to not, just to let people know that I'm a little bit more than a guy that, sang or screamed all through the Mötley record, even the Scream and the Union stuff, that there was another side to me. And it kind of, now I think I'm actually writing material for a new solo record as well. And I think it kind of took an eraser on the chalkboard and just kind of wiped everything away. So now nobody really knows what my next record will sound like, which I like. You know what I mean? I didn't want to be pigeonholed as, somebody that's gonna, if I do a solo record, I don't necessarily want it to sound like the Mötley record or the Scream record. I want to try and do my own fresh thing and, and see. So I thought from that aspect, it was important to do something different. But I also enjoy playing acoustic guitar, like all of the songs in all of the bands, the Scream, Mötley, Union, even this band. All of the writing that I do is done on an acoustic guitar, and then it's translated electrically. So it wasn't that far of a stretch either.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it was cool.
So if we go back to the early days and when you kind of started getting into music, and was that particularly on the acoustic guitar?
Yep. I basically, the first guitar I ever owned was an acoustic. And I don't know what it is for me. I know most people set up their electric guitar and a bunch of pedals, and that works as well. I have done that, but a majority of the stuff, I would probably say 95% of the songs that I've ever written in my life was just me sitting around watching TV or something with an acoustic guitar, and I'll come up with a riff and I'll go, oh, well, that sounds cool, or it sound, and then I'll translate it to an electric guitar and then add the pedals and all that stuff later. If the riff or the song or the music sounds good on an acoustic and the melody is strong, then it's going to be even stronger to me electrically. So as far back as I can remember, I've always written on an acoustic guitar.
And in that sense, was singing part of it initially, or did you consider yourself more of a guitar player?
I started out as a guitar player. And then I somehow just graduated into the singing thing as well. But I just think just for writing purposes, sometimes when you're playing something really loud electrically, the audience really can't hear the subtleties in the chords. Maybe something between a D and a D7th chord, you know what I mean? Like there's these little subtleties. With an acoustic, you tend to, like my writing, when I write, I'll kind of sing a melody and then I'm like, oh wait, that melody, the chord should go from here. I think that's a 7th chord or a minor chord or whatever. So I tend to figure everything out on the acoustic and then take it in, whether it's with the Daisies or Mötley or even my solo band. I'll take it in and I'll say, hey, here's what I got. And then, and then everybody starts adding from there. But I just think for writing purposes, melodies and all that other stuff, you can really hear everything with an acoustic guitar. So that's just the way I write.
Right. And then you say, well, you mentioned writing on the sitting on the couch. So do you need a specific bit of time to do the writing, or do you write continuously?
No, it's weird. It comes in spurts.
Okay.
You know, I may sit down. I may sit down and write 5 or 6 songs, boom, 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 and then not write anything for a month and a half. There's some songs that I've had riffs and music just kind of stockpiled at home, and I've been working on them for years. You know what I mean? And I think that I still think that there's something really cool there, but it's not right yet. You know what I mean? Right. So it just depends.
And this whole process, this creative process, what does it do for you? Well, and especially if you look at early on when you started out, what kind of?
I don't know. To me, there's something just incredibly satisfying about, you know, when we were getting together for this last record, Make Some Noise, you know, sitting in a room with 4 or 5 other guys, and we're all throwing ideas at each other. And we kind of had, the first 10 days we got together, we just wrote. And we had ideas, and we put them on our phones or computer or whatever. And then we brought them to Marty, and he listened to them, and he got an immediate reaction from certain songs. And we all kind of figured out what 10 or 15 we were going to work on. Once we started tracking them, there's something really gratifying about hearing the initial idea in its roughest form, and then hear, you know, Brian's drums really come to life, and then hear Marco put some sort of bass line on it, and then Doug and David will put their rhythm guitars on, and then Doug will do like some sort of guitar overdub or whatever, and then hear it go from like this little skeleton,
right,
and then watch everybody throw their thing on it, and it just grows and grows and grows, and then you put the melody or the vocals on it, and you sit back and you just watch it grow into this thing. And it's really exciting watching that process happen, still to this day for me. So it's, you know, I love being on stage, but I really love being in the studio and watching songs develop from just an idea to the finished product. You know what I mean? It's pretty cool.
And when you have this initial idea, do you already, like you said, when you start out on the acoustic guitar, do you already envision kind of what comes around?
I think kind of. And sometimes you're off base. Sometimes you hear it one way, and then everybody adds their things, and then the song goes in a good way, but in a different direction. You hear other things, or, you know, like I play guitar as well, but I don't play like Doug Aldrich.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? So Doug may try something, and I go, oh my God, that's amazing. Like, I would have never thought of that. And then he'll do something, and I go, oh, okay, I really like where this is going now. You know what I mean? So it's a cool process, man. The whole thing it's very cool.
Is there maybe a track on Make Some Noise that surprised you how it turned out in a good way?
Yes, actually, I did not understand in the very beginning. I did not understand Mainline at all. It was very up tempo and like there's some weird chord changes in there that I was sitting and I was listening to it going, man, like especially in the chorus, like the chords in the chorus, I was going, man, I'm just not grasping this. I don't understand it, you know, and you know, I sat down with Marty, and Marty actually helped me quite a bit mold that melody, and he just threw something at me, you know, like a quick little melody, and I was like, oh, okay, now I get it. Now I hear what everybody else in the room was hearing. There's some things that, you know, I say 5 guys because Marty was involved as well.
Right.
But the other 5 guys heard, and I just wasn't hearing it the way they were hearing it. But as soon as Marty kind of hummed me something or sang me a little melody, I totally understood it, and I'm like, I get it now. And I literally went off, and I think I wrote the lyrics in, an hour.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was like boom, 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 boom. So it was pretty cool.
Well, in that sense, because you mentioned the lyrics, do they always come after? Does the music kind of drive what?
For me, the lyrics never come first.
Okay.
It's weird because I personally, for me, and other people are different. I've seen people write lyrics and then put music to it,
Right.
and I don't understand how they do that. You know what I mean? For me, hearing the song kind of paints a little bit of a picture on how the song is gonna, or like the title or whatever. So it's almost like I just sit there and I'll have headphones on once all the rhythm tracks are done, the guitars and everything, and I'll just go off in another room and I just sit there with headphones and I just sit there and I just listen to the drums and all the little nuances in the song, and I kind of get a vibe like, is it about a girl? Is it about this? Is it about that? And as soon as I lock into something, then the lyrics start coming. And it's almost like, you can't tell, I have my eyes closed right now, but it's almost like a storyboard in a movie, like vignettes of, and then I just see pictures, and then I just kind of write what I'm seeing. It's weird, but